Everyone has a story. And so does everything. Antique, vintage, or curio.
Honestly, so exciting to see a doll like this from the 1800s in such incredible condition.
Like, we've had collections that have sold for, tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Technological innovations, cultural significance, personal memories. What is it that gives each of these unique items their timeless quality?
Can't find these anywhere. No.
Join us as we blow off the dust and breathe new life into the past and the curious. In this episode of The Past and the Curious, we navigate the history of traditional boats, prestigious trophies, and precious treasures. Celebrate the legacy of the Dominion Day Trophy.
As a local piece, it holds so much historical significance, but even more so to the history of Canada, it's an incredible piece.
Discover the story behind a valuable gold ingot.
Gold mining, it consisted mostly of a miner with a pan at the edge of a stream and working it around with water.
Examine the craftsmanship of an Umiak boat model.
A piece like this is certainly keeping the tradition alive. It's educating people about the history of our country, but also, their heritage and just how advanced and innovative they were.
My full name is Kim Torkelson Lundberg. I brought in an Umiak, which is an Inuit, Greenland Inuit I'm talking about in this case, whale hunting boat, but also the transportation for the whole group from winter to summer camping back and forth.
In the Arctic's vast expanse, the Inuit and Yupik Umiak boat emerges as a remarkable symbol of adaptation and community. Rooted in the ancient traditions of boat building, the Umiak was a vital tool, crafted for transportation in the summer months and used primarily by women, or on occasion, by men for hunting. This vessel's story is a saga of knowledge and heritage passed down through generations. Elders, as guardians of this rich legacy, imparted their deep understanding of materials like sealskin, whalebone, and wood, crucial for withstanding Arctic conditions. More than boat builders, they were educators, instilling in the youth not only the skills for crafting and navigating these boats, but also the cultural values of cooperation and unity. Far more than a mere vessel, the Umiak stand as a symbol of the Inuits' harmonious coexistence with nature.
Well, thanks a lot for coming in today, Kim. This is a really interesting piece. Would you be able to tell me a little bit about it?
Sure. This is an Umiak, and it's from the western side of Greenland. In this particular instance, the women are moving from their winter camp to their summer camp. So they load up all their stuff, including tents, tent poles, paddles, cooking utensils, and there's Junior all wrapped up so he can't cause any mischief.
So I wonder, how did something like this ever come into your life?
My grandfather was a student of geology in his 20s. In 1920, he went to Greenland.
Right, and then so he picked up this model when he was in Greenland?
In Greenland, he picked up this model. I think it was a barter thing. He bought actually an Umiak and a kayak.
So about this particular piece, Kim, what about it stands out to you?
Well, it is a typical Umiak. They had a specific use at this time of year. The women moved the camp from their winter camp to their summer camp. So that's what this is about.
The model shows how the boat's constructed. It's framed with wood, and then sealskin or walrus skin would be stretched across it to keep it waterproof. So Kim, what made you want to bring it into the show today?
This immediately came to mind because of the uniqueness of its making and the beauty of the workmanship.
It's amazing to look at the detail in the design around the little cup. These little men are, they're still in really great shape.
They are, yes.
And like movable legs and limbs, like it's
fully articulated, yeah.
Yeah, it's just such a magnificent piece.
Something like this is a fairly detailed model of an Umiak. And I think that they were used to teach the children how they were made, what kind of materials were used to make them, and what they were used for. So that by the time the kids grew into adulthood, they actually knew all about this particular implement.
So Kim, what makes this personal to you?
I've had it for so long.
I think Kim was absolutely emotionally attached to the piece. He did even tear up when he was talking about, just how important it was to his family.
So, this is one of those things. They're part of our family's history now, and certainly very poignant reminders of the past.
The Umiak can be traced back probably as far as 5,000 years ago. And, these boats were such an advancement for them, and they were able to hunt and fish and also be very nomadic and, do whaling and move their children and family around.
Yep.
A lot of time has been put into putting detail on all the different intricate pieces of this. It's incredible. Like, you can see that this tent's actually tied down and they have a looping system.
Yeah.
So Kim, what do you think made the Umiak such a robust boat that it would last to today?
Its conical shape gave it strength, and that conical shape continues right down to the bottom piece. Although it is a flat bottom craft, because of all the stuff that was in it, it was well balanced.
A piece like this is certainly keeping the tradition alive. It's educating people about the history of our country, but also, their heritage and just how advanced and innovative they were.
So are these still being used today, Tanya?
They are. I don't think at quite the same volume, because we obviously have a lot of motorized options for people. You can imagine how important this boat would have been for them when they discovered how to make it work. And going from a single sort of person boat unit like a kayak to now being able to actually transport things on the water would be an advancement for them. And the boats have really hung in there throughout all these years, and they're still being used to this day. Just shows you how incredible they actually are.
By the usage of this kind of a boat today, we see that they got it right, and they continue to use it, and it's an amazing accomplishment.
Well, thank you so much, Kim, for bringing in this amazing piece today. What is the plan for the Umiak going forward?
This Umiak stays in my workshop, along with a kayak from the same area, and both of them collected by my grandfather.
Well, I think it's a really interesting point that if it has survived the last 5,000 years, we can certainly expect them to still be using them for the next 5,000.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So Kim, do you think you would ever part with the Umiak?
I don't think so. It's part of our memory.
So I've never seen one quite like this, and I think that it's so original. And the idea that this is a family heirloom to you, I think that this just makes this piece, well, priceless.
Yeah, thank you. I agree.
Well, thank you, Kim, for coming to the show today and bringing this wonderful piece of history.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a pleasure and an honor to do this.
You can see how important intergenerational knowledge would be that elders could pass down.
After the break, more treasures with untold tales.
People may not have even been aware that people were playing baseball back at that time. So it's kind of interesting from that viewpoint. My name is Lisa Timpf, and I've brought in the 1871 Dominion Day baseball trophy. Our intent in coming in was to, first of all, share the story. We think it's pretty phenomenal that somebody sent us this trophy out of the blue, and that we have this trophy that's that old.
On July 1st, 1871, communities across Canada celebrated Dominion Day with fervor, marking the 4th anniversary of the British North America Act, which united Canada, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick into a single Dominion. Dominion Day was born out of a desire to commemorate this unity, transforming the day into a national celebration filled with parades, picnics, and public speeches. Citizens from all walks of life gathered to participate in a range of activities, from sports competitions to cultural displays, each event reflecting the diverse fabric of the nation. As Canada evolved, so did the Dominion Day celebrations, eventually becoming Canada Day in 1982. Yet, the legacy of Dominion Day lives on as a storied milestone in Canada's journey to independence. While the day itself has transformed, the essence of unity and pride can still be remembered through relics like the Dominion Day Trophy, which continue to symbolize the nation's enduring spirit.
Hi, Lisa. Thank you so much for coming in today.
No problem.
Can you tell me a little bit about this trophy in front of us?
Yes, I can. It is the Dominion Day Baseball Trophy. It was awarded in 1871 to the winning team of a tournament played on Dominion Day in Norfolk County.
How cool. And how did this trophy come into your possession?
In December of 2020, we received this trophy sent to us from a man named Nelson Gilbert. He was the son of the man who was on the team that originally won the trophy. And he said, we think this trophy belongs in the sports hall. And so we're very grateful and appreciative that he did that.
Lisa, why did you bring the trophy in with you today?
Well, I think there's two reasons. One is to kind of share the story and make people aware that this was going on, how long baseball has been going on in Norfolk County. And secondly, we'd like to know whatever we can about, what is its value? Is it common for people to have done this sort of thing? And anything you could tell us about the history.
Lisa, what stands out to you about this trophy?
It's very attractive. It has certainly stood the test of time. It still looks great, even though it's from 1871. And secondly, what it tells us about baseball in Norfolk County. People may not have even been aware that people were playing baseball back at that time. So it's kind of interesting from that viewpoint.
It definitely is.
We really enjoy having it in our collection, but while we can look up kind of the history of the baseball game and that sort of thing, we don't know the broader history of trophies of this nature. So what can you tell us about it?
Sure. Well, it's certainly an absolute beauty, and it's really all about the detail when it comes to this trophy. There is so much engraving along the top, and also I must point out it's very rare to find a trophy with its lid, especially from this time period. This trophy is made of electroplated nickel silver, and it is a really beautiful specimen from the time. It has incredible engravings, some tulips around the center, a lot of really fine detail, and a beautiful inscription on the front. Presented by the inhabitants of Simcoe to the Champion Baseball Club, Norfolk, Dominion Day, 1871. So it's not sterling, but it's still an absolutely spectacular piece. This was really an early formation of our culture, and baseball was clearly a big part of it.
Yeah, so baseball would have been a big part of that. These men represented their communities, so we had teams from Lyndoch, Victoria, Port Dover, and Simcoe, and going for municipal pride, I guess, and the honor of winning that silver trophy. And it took a little bit of fortitude because back in that day, they played without gloves. Gloves weren't commonplace, and that was reflected in the scores. Final score for the championship was 49-42.
Oh my goodness. And the cup itself was a big deal. It was actually a big prize valued at $25 at the time, wasn't it?
Which at the time would have been a lot of money. There was mention in the local paper about the event, about the value of the trophy. So obviously that was significant, and about the fact that these teams would vie for the title of Norfolk champions in the sport of baseball. So, this trophy, we got it kind of out of the blue, but it kind of made us wonder, is this common? Do you see a lot of these? What do you know about it?
Well, trophies like this are somewhat commonplace, but again, having one in such great condition, also of this size, is more rare, and having the lid with it, it makes it additionally rare. So I've certainly never seen one this beautiful before from this time period.
I personally hadn't really thought about the history significance in relation to Dominion Day. The fact that there hadn't been that many Dominion Days. This was probably only like the fourth or fifth one. So this really was a significant event. That also ties it into the broader impact of Canadian culture as opposed to just a little thing that happened in Norfolk County.
Dominion Day would have been one of the first national holidays unique to Canada. Now, Lisa, we've been calling this Dominion Day, but nowadays we would know it as Canada Day, which actually got its name change on July 1st, 1982. The name change really symbolized Canada's move towards full independence from Britain. As a local piece, it holds so much historical significance, but even more so to the history of Canada, it's an incredible piece. Lisa, how is the Norfolk County Sports Hall of Recognition going about preserving this piece?
So we are preserving this piece by keeping it in a glassed-in cabinet. The reason I think the Sports Hall plays an important role in stewardship for pieces like this is that We can facilitate the public being able to see these pieces, being able to appreciate these pieces. We have a venue where we can display them.
Lisa, when you look at this trophy, what does it make you think about? Do you picture the guys maybe drinking a beer out of it, or how does it make you feel?
You know, to me, like, aside from its physical attractiveness, and again, playing baseball in the barehanded age when you're trying to catch fly balls without a glove or anything, these guys really played hard to earn that trophy.
Lisa, thank you so much for bringing in this Dominion Day trophy. Can you tell me what is the plan for it moving forward?
First of all, we really appreciate the opportunity to come here. Being here and hearing some of the stuff you said will help us promote the trophy a little bit and maybe try to heighten the awareness in the community that we have this beautiful artifact among our displays.
Do you think you would ever part with it?
I don't think we would. I think it would be kind of a betrayal to the person that sent it to us, kind of in trust as part of the community. So it's something we will keep for sure.
It certainly belongs in the community.
So we've said that we wouldn't part with it, but that being said, you know, we're naturally curious. What is the present day value? We know it was worth $25 back in the day. What is it worth now?
I would say because of the collectability of a piece like this, especially with the strong sports background in the area, it could have a value of around $300.
That's pretty impressive.
Thanks for coming on the show today, Lisa.
Well, thanks for having us.
What I love most about this story is that the family member of the person who originally won the trophy made sure that it was sent back to its hometown where it belonged.
I think the existence of the trophy, too, is an emblem of the fact that you don't have to be from a big city to really appreciate the value in sport, the teamwork, and the significance that play part in that broader Canadian culture.
Stay tuned for more fascinating finds.
So the family never ever had it tested, and we always wondered, you know, is it gold? Does it possess a bit of gold? My name is Lisa Crawford. I brought in half a bar of gold and a rock with supposedly fool's gold. Well, the gold bar has been in our family for over 100 years, and before my father passed away, I got him to write the story down on how it came into the Crawford family.
In the heart of South Africa's Mpumalanga region, the small town of Pilgrim's Rest became a beacon of golden dreams in the 1870s. The discovery of alluvial gold in Pilgrim's Creek set the stage for a dramatic transformation as prospectors flocked in, lured by the promise of fortune. The gold rush in Pilgrim's Rest began with Alex Wheelbarrow Patterson, a prospector who struck gold in 1873. His discovery, fueled by earlier tales of gold near the Cup River, ignited a frenzy. Miners like William Trafford joined the quest, further propelling the town's growth and mining prowess. In its golden era, Pilgrim's Rest was more than a mining town. It was a symbol of hope and opportunity. It quickly grew, bustling with miners and entrepreneurs, all chasing the dream of overnight riches. Yet, beneath the optimism lay the grim reality of mining, the hard labor, the danger, and the unfulfilled dreams of many.
Good morning, Lisa. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Could you tell us a little bit about what you've brought in to show us today?
What I have here is a half a bar of gold. My father got into this possession from a prospector who got it from another two prospectors who discarded one of the pieces. So it was passed on from my grandmother to my father and now to me. So the family never ever had it tested, and we always wondered, is it gold? Does it possess a bit of gold? You know? And this is a rock that I had found in South Africa in a place called Borksluk. My father was showing us the area he grew up, and we saw this. He said, oh, this is fool's gold. And these were all over this place. So I thought, you know, I'm going to keep one just as a memorabilia. I actually brought it from South Africa to the Caribbean, to Clerisy, where I was living. I had the two together. And then when I emigrated to Canada, I had it in my checked luggage. So when I arrived in Canada, I thought, oh, I hope it's still there. So when I opened up the bag, I found a note from the customs, US Customs, and it said your bag was searched. But luckily, before my father passed away, I had him write a letter about it. And that letter was with the gold bar. And that's how it ended up here in Canada.
That's a fascinating piece of history.
Yeah.
What a story. Why was it important to you to bring these out to show people?
finally I did have it tested in January of this year.
Oh, nice.
It was a sort of X-ray machine. So they did test the spar, and it turns out there's no gold. It's mostly brass. But interestingly, this rock that my father said was fool's gold, I said, can you test this? And that turned out to be gold.
I love Lisa's story about the area that she found this sample in. The samples were all over the place. And as a kid, when she collected it, she only took one home.
But now that it's turned out to be actual gold, I wish I had collected a bag full of it.
I believe you. It almost makes one think that a trip back to that part of Africa just might bear fruit.
I think so. I think maybe I've just started a gold rush to a place called Borkslag.
It's quite possible.
Yeah.
Lisa, can you share some more of the history regarding the Pilgrims Creek area?
Well, my father grew up in that area, and so what my father was saying that during, I think it was 1871, there was a gold rush to Pilgrim's Rest. So that's where everybody was rushing to the gold. They're thinking they're going to become millionaires in the day.
Gold mining in the late 1800s was a very primitive affair. It consisted mostly of a miner with a pan at the edge of a stream, filling it with a little bit of sediment from the bottom of the stream and working it around with water. The heavier particles of gold would sink to the bottom of the pan, and hopefully you would see some results from your labors. Back in 1873, the first prospector to discover gold in the area was a gentleman by the name of Alex Wheelbarrow Patterson. He was lured in by the rumor of a discovery of gold in the area, and they did set off a gold rush. An announcement would go out in the newspapers that gold was discovered, and overnight you had people flocking to the site.
Was there any other method they used back then?
After the pan for sluicing, one of the other innovations in the time was a rocker box, where they could fill this tray with water added to the mix. They could shake out stuff that they didn't want, and the heavier gold always settled to the bottom. Lisa, at the current time, what space does this occupy in your life?
For many years, it was actually in a safety deposit box in the bank. And then when I had it tested, I took it out. And then when I found out that this wasn't really gold, I've now just keep it in a drawer. But it is something really worth displaying.
And what are your plans going forward for these items?
One of my plans is to leave it with my son, and hopefully he can pass it on, and maybe it will be in the family for maybe 200-300 years.
Your quartz sample with the gold in it to a mineral and rock collector, I see these sort of samples going in the range of $200 to $300. Your bar and the ingot, it's a different story altogether. The museum quality story that goes along with this truly makes it priceless.
This probably does belong to a museum because of the story behind it and being, over 100 years old.
Thank you so much, Lisa, for coming on the show and bringing a marvelous piece of gold rush history. I love the twist where the gold bar turned out to be a fake. It's a big chunk of brass, and what she thought was fool's gold in this sample of quartz turns out to be the real thing. And I know Lisa's left with the thought, what did I leave behind?